You have probably felt it for a long time, this quiet, persistent feeling that everyone else got a manual for how to be a person, and somehow yours never arrive. You look around and see people who seem comfortable in their own skin, then there's you replaying every mistake on a loop, apologizing for things that do not need apologizing, and shrinking yourself and rooms just so you take up less space. Underneath all of that exhausting behavior is a terrifying belief. You suspect that if people really saw inside your mind and understood how you actually feel, they would judge you, or they would leave. That fear crystallizes and to an unnamed mobile hum, a persistent low whisper following you into your best days, always there to remind you that you're not quite right. That hum actually has a clinical name. Psychologists do not call it low self-esteem, they call it core shame. Guilt says I did something bad. It judges and isolated behavior separate from who you are, but shame says I am something bad. The action gets pulled in words, swallowing the central self until the failure and your identity become the exact same thing. This architecture gets built very early. You were likely a sensitive child in an environment that did not value sensitivity. You were told you were too emotional, too loud, or just too much, and you were rejected for it. Children lack the cognitive tools to separate have failed action from a flawed identity. When they face rejection, they simply absorb it, building their entire sense of self around the idea that they are the problem. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung had a specific term for this internalized rejection. He called it the wounded self. This is the specific part of your childhood psyche that absorbed those early rejections and simply never fully healed. That wounded self does not stay in the past, follows you into a hood, walking right beside you into every relationship, every job interview, and every room you enter. It acts as a permanent internal saboteur, constantly whispering that you are not enough. It uses that fear to keep you safely hidden, hoping to protect you from ever experiencing that original rejects. And again, carrying this weight comes with steep costs. First, it costs you authentic relationships. When you secretly believe you are flawed, you keep people at a safe distance, close enough to feel connected, but far enough away that they cannot see the truth. You end up lonely, even in a room full of people. Second, it costs you your potential. If your core belief is that you are inadequate, you paralyze your own risk, taking you do not apply for the role or start the project because you do not believe you deserve to succeed. Third, it costs you your peace and spend massive amounts of daily energy managing everyone's perception of you, carefully performing a version of yourself that you hope they will find acceptable. That performance is utterly exhausting. The ultimate price of the mask is that it leaves the true self completely. Reindeer is the truth. You need to hear nothing is inherently wrong with you. Something happened to you. The exact traits you were taught to be ashamed of are often your greatest strengths. That deep sensitivity and emotional intensity, or the very things that allow you to love deeply and see the world in ways others cannot. Carl Jung argued that the path forward was not to fix yourself, but to engage in a process he called integration means taking the hidden parts of yourself and bringing them back into the light. You do not do this because those parts are perfect. You do it simply because they belong to you. You cannot achieve a sense of wholeness as long as you are actively at war with half of your own psyche. The feeling that you are broken is not an objective reality. It is an inherited story written by other people before you were old enough to speak for yourself. To change the story, you have to change the question. Stop asking what is wrong with me and start asking what happened to me and what do I need now. You have to be the one who finally stops running. You have to turn around, face that hidden version of yourself, and offer it complete acceptance. When you do that,